Hello, welcome to Crow's Corner. I'm Jenny. Today's episode, we'll be making the front entry steps and a very special little fountain to go in front of the Hogwarts greenhouse. We start the project by using some basic recycled packaging. There's some foam, there's some scrap paper, and this little plastic pool looking shaped thing. I really have no idea what it came from. It was probably some kind of piece of technology. And I'm just putting these pieces together to form a set of steps on either side of the entry to the greenhouse. And the middle piece is where the pond is going to be. Now I'm going to coat everything with a layer of Mod Podge, sand, and paint. And that gives it sort of a gritty texture and seals everything up nicely. And you can see at first the color, I made it a little bit too green. I wanted it to be slightly green, but it was a little bit too green, so added in a little bit of black to make it more of a gray. Everything is glued together at this point, by the way, just using a little bit of Eileen's tacky glue. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already watched the other previous episodes of the Hogwarts Greenhouse series, check out the playlist. And to make sure to coat the little fountain that I got from Temu, if you haven't seen that, there's a Temu haul that you can watch. But I wanted it to be the same color and texture as all the other stone around it. And now I'm dry brushing with a little bit of off-white just to make the highlights kind of pop and give it a little bit of dimension. I noticed that there's some green painted on there. I didn't show that because in the end it's all covered with some soil and plants anyway. And I'm giving it a dirty wash. So this is just some old paint water with a little bit of brown and black added. Very, very watered down, and once you coat things in it, the paint color kind of settles down into the cracks and you can blot off the top of everything else. If you haven't already seen the other episodes in the Greenhouse series, there's a playlist that you can check out. Making sure to age up the fountain as well. You can see here that I made sure to get every side of the steps to really bring out the highlights and add in some depth with the dirty wash. using a little bit of Distress Oxide, one of my favorite products. You will see this in just about every video I make. When it comes to miniatures, I really like the colors that it can add into things. In this case, I'm adding sort of that lichen or moss covered stone look to it. You can find where to get this. There's going to be a link in the description. Using some coffee and Mod Podge, I make the soil. And usually it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. I actually added a little bit too much glue at this point, so I added in more coffee to thicken it up. And just spread it around wherever I want the soil to be that I'm going to be placing the plants on. I had to make sure that when putting this on the back, I didn't overhang the back edge because this is going to be sitting flush up against the greenhouse base. I realized that I had made this stuff a little too runny when I had run out, and I made a second batch in the front corner there, so I'm just adding in some thicker pieces. And then also I totally sealed off the front and realized, oh no, I mean, what are they just going to go from one set of steps to the next? They need a way out. So I had to go in and kind of rearrange a little bit of this and wipe it clean, so there's a portion of the sidewalk where if this were the real world, they could walk out. And the next step was to use a little bit of glue. This is just some Eileen's tacky glue, and I'm going to spread some super leaf on it so it looks like some moss and other sorts of vegetations growing all over the ground. And the super leaf is in my Amazon list in the description below. This is probably the second to last episode in the Hogwarts Greenhouse series. I only have the roof left and the assembly part. So if you have any other ideas of what you would like to see me make, let me know. I do needle felting, I do printmaking, I do embroidery and costuming. There's a lot of different things that I dabble in. I've got another miniature that I've already started, but I'd love to hear your ideas. What would you like to see? Comment below. Here I am starting in with the addition of plants, and most of these are just dried bits of moss or plant matter. Some of these come from the Temu haul, some of them are from Amazon. Using a little bit of Eileen's tacky glue to put all of these in place. And there you have it. I have all of the plants in place. I really wanted this to be super colorful, and I think it turned out really fun. And the next step is to use the realistic water to fill up the pond. I had to do this in shallow layers, so maybe a quarter to a half inch at a time, and I'd let that dry for 24 hours and then go in and did another one. And I think I did this about 3 or 4 times before it was full enough to where I wanted it to be. But to make the fountain part, I'm actually using some UV resin and some embroidery floss, wool embroidery floss, and I take one strand of the floss and dip it into the resin and then harden it, and that looks, when you attach it, like water running down a vertical surface. And I'm measuring it, cutting it to size. And I'll need 2 little areas of
water falling, one from the mouth of the lion to the bowl of the fountain, and then one from the bowl of the fountain down to the pond. I do want to fill up the fountain with some resin as well. You can see how the water is coming out of the mouth of the lion and then off of the bowl down into the pond. I did add a little bit more resin at the base. I wanted it to look kind of ripply and pull some of that up to make it a little bit thicker water stream coming out of the bowl. Here you are. This is the final product. There was a little bit of an air bubble that got trapped under some of the resin under the pond, but it really isn't that noticeable. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I hope you like it, and we'll continue on in the next episode, and I will see you soon.